Hello there, I'm Kassi and I just wanted to talk a little bit about feelings. And feelings are something that often we're taught to avoid like wildfire. It's like, do not feel your feelings under any circumstances, stay away from feelings. Let's just live up here, stick with our thoughts and things will be fine. So I'm not really sure how this all came about, but I do feel it's got a lot to do with people before us not knowing how to deal with feelings. And so we pass that down the line, down the generations. And when we have our own children, we say, don't feel your feelings. We don't do feelings in this family. Let's avoid feelings and everything's going to be fine. And it just keeps getting passed on and passed on down the generation. So, what happens if we do feel our feelings? Oh, well, I used to be somebody who didn't feel my feelings. I lived up here in my head most of the time. And I avoided everything from here down. And that led to quite a complicated way of being for me. It led to a lot of somatic feelings and a lot of body pain. And in fact, fatigue and pain. It was very, very unpleasant. And I didn't know anything about feeling feelings. I didn't even know that I didn't feel my feelings. I wasn't aware of it until I went to have some counselling and discovered that I really wasn't in touch with my body at all and I didn't really have any feelings. Well, that's not true. I had feelings, I didn't go anywhere near them because, of course, we're all taught not to. So feelings are there for a really good reason, I believe. They're there to help us to get to know what's going on for us and how we really feel about a thing. It could be this, it could be that, it could be about anything. But if we stay up here and analyse and think, well, it might help a little bit, but it will not help with how we feel in our body and what's going on inside of there. And when we don't feel our feelings, things get trapped and stuck inside of us. And that's not going to lead to a very healthy way of being. So, the next time something happens, could be anything. Could be that somebody wheels over your toes in the supermarket with a trolley. It could be a near miss on the motorway. It could be that somebody says something hurtful and unpleasant to you. It could be anything. But the next time something happens, you might just like to, for a moment, just take a breather and think, my toes have just been wheeled across. Or, that was very rude and hurtful. And then once we've said, acknowledged that thing, then just go inwards. Just tune in, just for a moment. Well, my toes hurt, or my feelings are really wounded, or something. And then dig down a little deeper again. Do you know, I feel a bit cross. That person's just wheeled over my toes and hasn't even said sorry. So I feel a bit cross. Or that person's just offended me. Yeah, I feel really hurt and wounded, and actually I feel a bit cross about that too. So then we start to get in touch with how we feel. And then the more we start to get in touch with how we feel, we can also have a bit of a talk with ourselves about that feeling. So rather than dismiss it or ignore it, I'm inviting you to really hear it. To actually acknowledge how you feel. It's like, yeah, no wonder you feel cross about that thing. So we acknowledge ourselves, and then we start to, our feelings reduce. That, they kind of step up a bit. It's like, just rolled over my toes with their trolley. The feeling goes up a bit, we start to feel something, the nervous system kicks in, and then we acknowledge how we feel. We might say it out loud, or we might acknowledge it inside our head, and then the feeling starts to come back down again, and we start to feel more relaxed again. And if we do that, I believe we'll end up with a lot less pain, a lot less fatigue, and we'll be more in touch with who we are, and we'll be more fluid. And we can also pass on to others when they feel something, or if they don't feel something, we could say, how do you feel about that? You might notice something just happen. How do you feel about that thing that's just happened? And they might go, what thing? They might be absolutely oblivious to that thing. Or you might help them to bring their focus into it and consider, it's like, well yeah, that I didn't like actually how that was. So we start to get in touch with our feelings, and we can help others too. So this is just an invitation to you. You might like to get in touch with how you feel and acknowledge what it feels like, and also say something back to yourself like, no wonder you feel hurt, or no wonder you feel angry. Just to acknowledge yourself, and then notice how you start to feel after that. So, I feel quite good actually. My self-esteem's grown a little bit now. I feel more confident. Okay, I hope that helps.